Okay, so I think we can go ahead and get started. Hi, Rick.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. Well, thanks for joining our X Space today. I'm Kylie, and a quick heads up just before we dive in, and for anyone who replays this after, Canaan actually just launched a new dedicated home for our US community, and our new handle is going to be Canaan in America on X. So just make sure to give that a follow for everything focused on home mining and the community and kind of all of our Canaan in America updates. So that's pretty exciting. So basically, before we start, if you have a question for Rick at any point, just raise your hand and I can go ahead and give you speaking permission. Or if you just want to drop your question right on our space post pinned to the Canon IO profile, I'll keep an eye on that and make sure we get to it. So today we have Rick from CryptoCloaks with us. You're definitely a huge creative in this space, so that's really exciting. And today we're going to get into 3D printing, open source, what home miners actually want, and how Bitcoin culture keeps shifting. So, yeah, I think if Rick, you want to sort of introduce yourself and kind of get into how CryptoCloaks began.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course.
So, can you guys hear me clearly? I'm walking on a treadmill right now. Got to get my steps in.
Yeah,
But
we can hear you.
no, just kidding. All right. So, I'm Rick. I've ran CryptoCloaks now for 9 years. Before I did this, used to kill a lot of turkeys every day for Genio Turkey. I killed about 36,000 turkeys a day, and I got sick of it. So I slowly built up a side business on the side while doing that. And it all kind of started when I got out of college. My senior design project, every person on the team got a different piece of equipment, whether it was CNC, laser engraver, 3D printer, which I was lucky enough to get right off the bat. That's where I kind of fell in love with 3D printing after doing that entire project. And then once I graduated, I was like, I definitely need to get my own. And then got my own, and it was a monoprice maker select V2. People probably don't have any idea what I'm talking about, but I'll give you more detail than you need. But these printers back in the day, you had to auto level everything, and it's a way different ball game from newer printers now, where it's basically plug and play, and you get crystal clear layers and settings. But got my first printer, and then a buddy of mine got me down the Bitcoin rabbit hole, and I started off doing the whole shitcoin thing. And then after about like 6 months, I just ran out of time trying to keep up with all that crap and figured I'll just buy Bitcoin and go from there. And I had a ledger always sitting on my desk, and I go, well, this is stupid. I should at least build something or hide it underneath my desk. And so I had a 3D printer. I knew how to use CAD. So I designed my first hardware wallet mount. Super simple, but it worked. And then I was like, okay, maybe other people want these. So then I started an Etsy store, and they started selling really well. And I go, okay, maybe I should do more on this. And then after about 6 months on Etsy, I said, why am I giving Etsy 25% of my sales? I'll just have my own website. And then I created a Twitter and everything off of there. And 9 years later, here we are. But no, that's kind of like the whole backstory. And then after 5 years of running my business while doing industrial engineering, I was basically working like 20-hour days. And I told the wife, hey, I'm going to quit my engineering job and go full-time CryptoCloaks. So she was super supportive of me following the dream. And here we are now, almost 5 years in, just running CryptoCloaks alone. So it's been a hell of a journey. I'm having a blast. Still here.
That's awesome. That's such an interesting story of kind of that what you were doing before in general. So what were you in engineering, did you say for?
Yeah, I was an industrial engineer. I went to college for
Okay.
industrial engineering.
Okay, very cool. So tell everyone about the piece that kind of put you on the map when you started like your journey with 3D printing.
Oh yeah, so I'd say probably where I really blew up was like the Bitcoin grenade. Um, that idea came out of helping a conference in Vietnam, and Hans was helping a buddy out there, and he goes, "Hey, I want to do something crazy. I need you to design a Bitcoin grenade, and we're going to give them out to every single attendee in Vietnam." And I was like, "All right, this is wild, but let's do it." And I printed off like 120, shipped it out to Vietnam in one giant box, all assembled, which turns out was a absolutely terrible idea because Vietnam customs does not like when a box full of grenades shows up at their country step. So then they had to bring in a Vietnam War vet to actually go through the box and make sure they weren't live grenades, and they almost didn't arrive because they almost shipped them all back. But that kind of was our mark, and we were where we really blew up. Besides just doing like hardware wallet mounts and stuff like that.
That's so interesting. I'm sure that was crazy. I can't even
Yeah, it was
imagine.
wild. I was
That's
like trying to like talk with customs too, and like the language barrier. Like I was like, I don't speak Vietnamese, so we're like trying to figure it out. And like Hans was working with them too, and it got crazy. But we
yeah,
got it through, and they got it, and that was during COVID. So, like, I think they like not very many people actually showed up to the conference because the COVID. It was like the very early days. And I was like, oh, of course, another thing. So that was fun.
that's crazy. So I think we can kind of shift a little bit into the more open source part of what you do. I kind of want to get into that because I think also kind of similar with Canon, it kind of ties back to some of Canon's values as well and like how we started with more
Yep.
like open source and everything. So like what are your thoughts overall and yeah, like what are your thoughts on open sourcing what you do and, sharing everything you work on, a lot of
Yeah.
your
So
files.
I like open source. I like closed source. I think both are needed, to be honest. Um, I open source as much as I can, but when you run a business and you're not backed by a billionaire, you don't have deep pockets. So you need to keep some stuff closed source to make money. That's just how it is to keep your business alive. If I gave away everything I had for free, I probably wouldn't be here, especially through bear markets. When it comes to software, a little different, but we've designed BitAxe cases and put those out on printables so anybody can download them and print them. The most popular one people love is the V8 case for BitAxes. It looks like a V8 engine. People are loving those. We have different shrouds. Eventually, I'll probably just toss the Canaan Q shroud out there for people to print their own if they want to. Yeah, we've actually done a bunch of stuff. We sell not open source, but we do sell our STLs so people can also not just buy them from us, the finished product, but saves them money and time and shipping, and they can just print their own. And that's all on our file factory.
That's really cool. So for someone who's never touched a 3D printer, like what's the state of 3D printing right now? Is it super accessible? Is it easy to do? I've never
Oh yeah.
3D printed anything before, but it seems really interesting.
No, nowadays 3D printing is so easy compared to where it was 9 years ago. It's kind of mind-boggling. It's like watching the Bitcoin space move and money. It moves fast. Same with like home mining. 3D printing has gone. I mean, you can buy a printer now for $300, plug it in, and it will print better than anything that we've ever had from like 8 years ago. It's wild.
Yeah.
It's the prices are just constantly going down, and it's pretty fun to watch just the quality and speed of these things getting better and better every year. It's so easy nowadays. Everyone should probably get one. That's what I at least tell people.
How many do you have?
I've lost count, but I think I have 28
Oh
in the
my,
shop right now.
that's awesome.
And then we have a Florida shop that Mopar runs, and I think he has 14. Yeah.
Wow. So what do you think people can make at home today that would surprise them with a 3D printer?
Oh, anything. I mean, it's crazy. If you get a 3D printer, the possibilities are endless. Whenever I try to tell people to get one, it's like Bitcoin is sovereign money, where 3D printers sovereignty on a different level. There's millions and millions and millions of files of just anything out there that if something breaks in your house, you can 3D print replacement parts pretty easily. I've done that before, where fixed dishwashers or Christmas light clips. God, there's just so much around the house you can fix with these things. And you don't have to like get a part. You can just print it for like 20 cents and fix what you need. And then if you start messing with CAD, you can literally design endless possibilities. The only limit really is your imagination.
That's so cool. On the printing side, where do you think the tech is headed and kind of like evolving to?
I mean, it's only going to get crazier. They're starting to 3D print like human cells, stuff like that. What I look forward to most is metal 3D printing and watching those prices come down. When I first got into it, the average like metal 3D printer was $100,000 plus for the full system. And now they're slowly starting to evolve and become better and better. And there's some out there for like 10 to 12 now. I really want a metal 3D printer, so I've just been waiting for the tech to evolve and get cheaper, and every year it does. So it's getting close now.
That's awesome. Super interesting. I think now we can kind of move into something just a little bit like of a rapid fire kind of lightning round. First thing that comes to your mind. So, most underrated thing that you make.
Oh God. Oh God. Like non-Bitcoin related.
Anything is good.
Anything is good. Oh God, Bitcoin chains maybe. That's Bitcoin related, but Bitcoin chains are pretty good option.
Loudest miner you've ever tested?
S19J Pro ran into my what's miner M30. That thing was louder than the S19J Pro. I bought it brand new, plugged it into my basement. The wife said hell no, so I had to I had to sell that immediately and then buy an S19J Pro because they're a little bit quieter, and then figure out how to insulate it so it was even quieter. Yeah, what's miner M30, I think it was.
Okay, got it. One color everyone asks for.
Orange.
Orange. Function or aesthetics?
That's a tough one for 3D printing. I mean, both are super important. I can't pick one over the other. I mean, I like to look good. All right, aesthetics, if I have to choose.
Okay, the print you're proudest of.
Bitcoin grenade.
Okay, sweet. That's awesome. So I think the next thing I want to ask you about is you have a pretty good read on the home mining buyer, obviously, since you build all these accessories. So what do you think they're after right now, and what people ask you for? Like, what do people ask you for the most?
Honestly, what people are looking for is the cheapest hash. Dollar per terahash. That's honestly the biggest factor. Even for me, that's why I don't try to like push people open source or closed source on firmware, because the big factor, if you get out of all these like circles, it's basically people want the cheapest hash. So if you have a cheap terahash dollar value, I mean, people are going to buy it over anything else, because that's what matters. All hash matters. It's just getting that terahash up, no matter how, like, they just want the cheapest. And then second would probably be heat dissipation, especially when you come from like the fall and winter, where you're usually in that minor heat to either heat your house, because you might as well. Just figuring out ways how to keep those miners cool in the summer and spring, and then figuring out where to exhaust it at. And those are honestly the most popular things that we've printed for all the home minings, and it's just shrouds and different way to keep miners cool.
Very cool. So what's something the crowd you wants, but no one's making yet?
I want that no one's making it. Oh man, that's a tough one. Let's see. I don't know. It's constantly evolving. Ooh. Somebody just raised their hand. Interrupting, I tell you. Proof of ink.
Let me see if I can.
I don't know if I have access. Maybe I can.
I think, let me see if I can send them a invite to speak. There we go. I just sent an invite to speak. Proof of ink.
Don't mess it up, dude. Oh, jeez.
Well, we'll see. Maybe.
At least this gives me time to think.
What are you guys doing letting me up?
That's okay. I just didn't know if. Oh.
Oh, now he muted himself. Tell you.
What's up?
What's up? You have a question?
No, I was just waving, dude. I'm a huge fan.
All right. See you later then, dude. I thought you had a cool question. Ask me something about 3D printing. Go.
What is the coolest thing that you've 3D printed so far?
Oh, Jesus, you guys. All right. Honestly, I'm going to change my mind from like the Bitcoin grenade earlier. I would have to say the ginormous Bitcoin chain we hung on the bull in New York. That was sick.
That was pretty cool. The helmet is also really awesome.
Yeah, that's another good one. But I think like maximum coolness was a ginormous chain that fit on that Wall Street bull. It was sweet.
That's super cool. Awesome.
Thanks for coming up, dude.
Thanks for having me. Long time, first time.
Okay, perfect. So now I think we can kind of get into, the Avalon line that we have. So
yeah.
You make the stands and the shrouds for our home miners and our Avalon line and other miners as well. What's it like designing around hardware that you didn't build?
I mean, it's tough. The big thing is always just trying to get a unit to actually design around. You can have pictures and CAD models all you want, but with tolerances on 3D printers, you always need an actual model to test fit as you design. That's probably the hardest part. Other than that, it's pretty easy because you just have fun. And then you just kind of use your knowledge that you've done over the years. And yeah, like that Q shroud, the toughest part there was trying to figure out how to connect it to the actual unit without being kind of like a huge headache. And using 4 zip ties tied in into the grate, and then also using the 2 initial screws that you guys had made it honestly really, really good. And then most people just freaking use duct tape on the sides of the shroud anyways. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess I didn't need to design it that well, but everyone just tapes it on.
Whatever works, I guess. How long did it take you to like come up with that, I guess, bring it from concept to kind of finishing that?
I think that one took like 4 days.
Wow, that's quick.
The best part about 3D printing is rapid prototyping. It's a game changer. So if you have an idea, you can bring it to life really quickly, and you can constantly, if there's something you need to change, you just make that change and you print off a new one. And then what you do is you can just change the settings on the printer to print it even faster using like draft mode, where you don't care about super detailed, high quality prints. And then once you get it dialed in, then you move down to like the finer printing. And yeah, that took probably 4 or 5 days from design to bringing it to life.
Cool. What makes a piece of hardware fun to design for versus a pain?
I don't think there is a pain, to be honest. I mean, maybe just difficulty of ports, but then it's still kind of like a puzzle and a challenge, so I enjoy it. I love designing. That's my favorite part about what I do. If I could just sit back on CAD and design products all day, I would. And then I'd just have somebody else run printers. But yeah, designing is like the best part to me. It's like the artistic part of being able, like, of the whole process.
Super cool. So when you print, this might be a stupid question, but are you able to like program it so that it can like continue to make them like over and over again, or do you have to do it manually like each time and like make sure
Yeah,
it's
so
all
there's systems out there that can automate your printers. I just don't have the space to run all these things. What I've done is actually used an AI agent to watch over certain printers in my shop. And then he'll alert me when I need a swap. So I literally will just walk over, pop the print up, pop it back on the printer, and he'll do the rest of it. So he'll fire up the printer again, fire up the G code, and have it ready. So it's just a continuous line there where I don't really have to touch anything besides just popping the prints off the bed now. So AI is definitely a game changer on that aspect of like running it continuously without having like robots change the beds, I guess.
Got it. Wow. As far as AI and 3D printing go, have you seen anything like interesting in the space that's like really crazy and out there? I'm just curious.
No, it's nuts. I mean, I have an agent that runs my printers now, which I would have never thought was possible. The fact that you can now plug it into like CAD software and you can have an agent or AI build out basically 3D models that you can print by just telling it what you want and then slowly going through the process and saying what you want changed on that model. It's only getting smarter. It's really cool what it can do nowadays compared to even just like 6 months ago or a year.
Wow. Yeah, I bet. I feel like everything is just changing so fast. I remember seeing a 3D printer for the first time, and I probably haven't seen one in years, so I can't even imagine what they look like now and probably how easy they are to use. Now I want one.
Oh, I mean, you should honestly get one because it's nothing like back in the day of using. They're so plug and play. You can take it out of a box, set it up in 2 to 5 minutes, and then just start printing files like within another 2 minutes. It's insane.
So cool. So since you're a designer and have an eye for that thing and the mind for designing products, do you have any
Yep.
ideas of what our next home mining product should be or look like, or any features or anything?
I'm trying to figure out. I would think if you guys can allow like more customizability on the outsides of looks, I mean, people love having their miners look good. That's where our cases and stuff, we try to add some aesthetics to it. But honestly, maybe allowing like interchangeable ducts or fans with even just screws on the outside shell cases would be amazing. Like on your Q, if you had 4 screw holes on the outsides of like your exhaust fans, where I could design a shroud and then literally just use screws to plug it directly into those holes where they're not needed until somebody creates a adapter or part. I mean, that's a game changer because then it's almost like it's built in. Just like little things like that where you can you have it pre-made to where you can build and design accessories for it. Even if you guys don't want to do that, creators and builders can just use those spots to actually build the accessories.
I like that idea. I think that's really smart, honestly, especially, if that isn't something we want to do, sort of making it easy for people to, make the changes.
Yeah, allow the community to build it. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the really fun things to see, like working for Canaan, is just like how creative everyone gets with our products. It's really cool.
No, I agree. So yeah, if you could somehow have things like that added, honestly, that's the one big change I would probably do.
Yeah, that's a good one for sure. So what do you think it takes for home mining to go mainstream?
That's just like saying, when is Bitcoin going to go mainstream? I mean, I think it's slowly getting there. The thing is just trying to like convince normies, right, of like how important Bitcoin is. Trying to get them undistracted by everything else that distracts them. Home mining, I think it'll take a while, just like how Bitcoin takes took 17 years to get where it is now. I don't think home mining will take that long, but I think it's going to be a slow process where people are just building cooler and cooler stuff for these things. And that's what brings them in. Kind of like custom gaming PCs, where that had a whole outbreak back in the day. I mean, it's kind of fading now, but that's where gaming really came in. So I think home mining, just accessories and making your home miners look badass, will definitely draw in and make it more popular. And the whole lottery thing, I think, will automatically bring people in. You can play the lottery every 10 minutes, or you can buy a Powerball ticket, your choice. And I think people want to play the lottery every 10 minutes instead.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. Out of like everything that you sell, what would you say, what's like your top seller, like most thing people are most interested in from
Right now,
you?
for like the past year, either the home miners themselves, the hardware, or the shrouds we do for ASICs, whether it's Ant Miner, What's Miner, Canaan, stuff like that. It's basically our shrouds or the miners themselves. That's our two biggest things right now for the past probably year and a half. That definitely has exploded.
That's awesome. I think that's so great. So how would you say the Bitcoin community has changed since you've started?
Oh boy. Well, I'm class of like 2017. I would say Bitcoin Twitter is definitely changed just on the aspect of I've noticed it's been a lot more like it used to be fuck the banks, but now that the banks are here, it changed a little bit. But I think what's going to happen is watching all these treasure companies basically LARP die out. We're going to go back to the roots of what it used to be. So it's just waiting for the cycle. I think it's just a waiting game, and I'm excited for it. I mean, the hype over these treasury companies, I think it's a joke, but I want to go back to where it used to be. And I think people are finally slowly heading that way. And I think home mining will also help kind of direct it back. Because back in the day, it used to be all about customizing nodes and making them look cool. Running your own node, that was a huge push, which is also still very important. But I think home mining will also kind of bring that back, that spirit. So I look forward to the future.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a good way to put it. As far as CryptoCloaks goes, what are your hopes for, like, is there anything you're excited for, like anything new coming for CryptoCloaks?
I'm excited if I'll survive this bear market like the other two. Just kidding. But no, in all seriousness, I look forward to building with a bunch of companies I got on the radar and working closer with them and bringing more products. Whether it's shrouds or cases or just like custom stuff. That's what I love to do. I love to design. And I'm trying to go back to what CryptoCloaks was 9 years ago and just work with more people in the community and design stuff in tandem with it instead of like solo. So honestly, that's my favorite part about what's coming up this year and next is just working more closely with companies and building cool stuff with them.
I love that. That's super cool. So you're based in Colorado?
Yep.
Nice. And then, don't you also have like a, I guess a site or like an office in Florida as well?
Yeah, so we have a second shop ran by Mopar, another badass dude. He runs all of our Amazon orders and eBay orders out of our Florida shop. And then we have Patrick that runs CryptoCloaks Europe out of Germany. So he's helping us save people a lot of money on customs and shipping. So he's starting to send out products from Germany out there.
That's really cool. And then is there anything like different product wise, or do you have to do anything different when it comes to 3D printing for the stuff in Germany? Or is it the same?
Nope. It's just like a slow release to make sure that everything's working how it should. Like if we print a part out here, it better look the same out in Germany. And then just making sure. And we slow roll products out there because not every product over in the US people want in Europe. So we're trying to figure that out. And then it's just kind of slowly building that up. It's been about 1.5 to 2 years. So we're building out slowly so we don't break anything.
There you go. That's awesome. Well, if anybody has any questions, now is a great time to ask. If you have anything 3D printing related or anything else we talked about, I'd love to give you a chance to ask any questions you might have. So you can go ahead and... What'd you say?
I said proof of ink, don't wave again. I'm going to think you want to come up again.
We'll see if anyone says anything, but honestly, I think it's super interesting what you're doing. And I think I love the creative aspect of it and how you're working with different companies and just building on top of things that already exist. And I think for us, it's great to see how much your accessories make a difference, especially from everyone who is super into heat reuse. And, you know, everyone's always talking about your accessories, which I think is just awesome. And it's great that you're growing and, you know, doing a good job at everything that you guys do. So that's awesome.
Appreciate
but
that.
Yeah, I think, yeah, of course. So where should everyone go to find you and everything you make? And where can they follow you on social? And how can they keep up with you?
So we're CryptoCloaks basically everywhere, every platform. Obviously here on X2. The big thing is CryptoCloaks.com. If you ever want to get into 3D printing or to learn like how to get started, we actually do have a page in there. It's under the lab on the top navigation. It says 3D printing fact. You can go through that and kind of like look at the different printers we roll out. We break down filaments and just everything that you kind of like the basics of 3D printing to get started on your journey. My main goal as a builder has always been trying to get every Bitcoiner or every person I know to run 3D printers, because honestly, it is self-sovereignty on a different level, and it's really fun. And I don't think you'll be disappointed in running a 3D printer and having fun with it. So yeah, if you want to do that, and we have a bunch of products on our website, check that out too. But yeah, CryptoCloaks.com to find everything.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. And also, one more time for everyone listening, we are launching Canaan in America on X for more all things Canaan in America, the community, home mining, content focused on the US. So follow Canaan in America, and we'll be hosting all of our X spaces on there from now on. So you don't want to miss that. A huge thanks to Rick for joining us, and we will also share the recording as well if you jumped in late. But yeah, thanks for joining, Rick, and thank you everybody for listening.
Hey, thanks for having me. Everyone buy a 3D printer. You won't regret
it. They will. Bye, Rick. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.